547, want to talk about your assignment number 2, which is really your third assignment because assignment 1 had 2 parts to it. It is your information processing model analogy paper. This is an individual assignment. And if you go to either, week 4 or your submit assignments areas, you can see information about it. But this is due Sunday, end of the day, before midnight, week 4. So 6/5/22. So like all the assignments, there is a document that kind of outlines it. I'm doing side by side because some people work better with narrative. Some people work better with bullet point, the rubric. If you click right there, that's this document over on the side. It's the rubric. So you can see that the whole thing is worth 30 points. And essentially what you need to do is come up with some sort of analogy to explain the information processing model using images. And so the first part is kind of coming up with an idea. The example that we're going to flip over to here in a minute that they give you a link to as an example is using baking. So you can see that there are 4 images there that kind of goes through the steps of baking. And then they start describing the different pieces that are required for the information. So sensory, immediate memory, working memory, and long-term memory. So those are the 4 parts that you need graphics for or images for. In addition to that, you also have to describe each feature, explaining both its function and factors that influence it. Once again, all the documents say use Word. You can use Google Docs. You just need to download it as a Word or PDF. If there's formatting issues, PDF works well. Be sure to include all the following items with separate headings. Headings are great. Once again, you can click this document outline over here on the side, and it's going to give you the different areas when you use headings. Citation, everything in APA formatting. Another plug, please utilize Grammarly Premium because Concordia pays for it for you, so make sure you're using that. So the role of the 5 senses, you can see these bullet points match up with the rubric over here. The role of threat and emotion, effects of past learning, capacity, and time limits of each. The role of sense and meaning, the role of cognitive belief system, and then APA formatting, reference pages, all that kind of grammatical stuff is done accurately. So it pretty basic assignment, but it is worth 30 points. It's a good chunk. So if you have questions as we move through the weeks, make sure you reach out. If you click this link right here, it goes to this example. Introduction paragraph gives their analogy model, talks about the features, and then it goes into the different, this bottom part here of the rubric, the role of the 5 senses, the role of threat and emotion, affects passive learning, time limits, and as I keep scrolling, the role of sense and meaning, role of cognitive belief system and self-concept, and then a conclusion. So if you notice, there's nowhere really where it talks about length, and that's at Concordia, that's pretty normal. It needs to be long enough to do the job. If this is only 1 page, probably not long enough. If this is 20 pages, probably too long. Sitting somewhere in the 7 to 12 page range, somewhere in there, just to give you, not to say that like 6 couldn't be fine, or if you go over, but just know that that's kind of the general range. So once again, this is your week 4 assignment, and it is titled Information Processing Model Analogy. As always, if you have questions, please reach out.